series for CAIIB. Here we are covering all the objective questions for CAIIB, ABM, BFM and retail. So follow this series completely. Completely means from the start till end. Up till now we have covered module A and B of ABM, and today is the last lecture on module C, HRM. So today we'll be covering knowledge management and training and development. The objective questions on that. So minded that you should follow the full series because these questions are asked in the exam. Okay. Firstly, I would suggest download Adda 24/7 app on your mobile. In this app, you will be getting all the premium study materials, current affairs, job alert, daily quizzes, live video lectures. The live video lectures mean these are the classes which you get directly. Okay, so join it ASAP. Also join this, subscribe to this Officers Adda YouTube channel. In this channel, you will be getting all the updates related to CIB. Also this series present series is going on Officers Adda 24/7 only. So let's start with the objective questions. Yeah, this batch I'll come to it later. See here, it's starting from September 3rd 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. ABM, BFM and retail. I'll come to the details of this batch later. Remember this code Y432. Let's move on. Okay, today's topic is knowledge management and training and development. So the questions will be based on that topic only, and these questions are asked in exam regularly. Okay, so knowledge management refers to critical issues of. So knowledge management means what? Firstly, what do you mean by knowledge management? Knowledge management means the pool of the this knowledgeable persons which you have. That pool is to be kept intact. Means, see this, what is the basic raw material of any banking? The raw material of any banking is people, software, hardware, everything can be bought, purchased, but you can't purchase the people, you can't purchase the knowledge. So the pool of the talent which you have, that is to be kept intact using various measures. Various measures means there can be various things like many companies give ESOPs, many companies give the promotions is a general part nowadays. So using all these things, you have to keep the knowledge intact, knowledge pool intact. So this is basically knowledge management. Okay, there is a separate topic of knowledge management. Means what are the pros, what are the cons, there are also difficulties, what are the models. We take this in live classes. So you follow the live classes, do join those live classes, this batch which I have told you, which is coming up on September 3rd. So we take all the topics over there. So let's move on to the question. Knowledge management refers to critical issues of organizational adaptation, survival and competence among discontinuous environmental changes, synergistic combinations of data and information processing capacity, and all of the above. Now what do you mean by all these things? Organizational adaptation. Adaptation is for whom? What? Adaptation is for the new technology which is coming up, new age which is coming up. I'll give you an example of adaptation. Earlier we had, before 2000, we had computer banking had just started in 2000 in private banks. In nationalized banks it started later, but it was just started, computer banking. Today, do you, anyone amongst you, does anyone know what was pen and paper banking at that time? No. So that's an adaptation. Banks have adapted themselves. Okay. Survival and competence among discontinuous environmental changes. Discontinuous means what? Discontinuous means which change rapidly without your knowledge. Okay, that's called as disruption. This word is actually disruption. Okay. Synergistic combinations of data and information processing capacity. So the servers which are there for banks have now become huge. They can process a huge large number of data. Okay, so what is the answer for this? Knowledge management refers to what? Only organizational adaptation or survival of in discontinuous environment, or synergistic combination. So the answer will be what? Simple answer, right? It will be D, all of the above. Okay, knowledge management is a process of. So what does it comprise? What do you have in knowledge management? Let's see. Identifying knowledge resources, organizing knowledge resources, managing, organizing and identifying the knowledge resources, and only A and B. Now this is a difficult question. See here, all of them seem to be correct. Identifying is correct, organizing is correct, but what is C? Managing, organizing and identifying. Is this managing also correct? Yes, it is required. But what is D then? A plus B means only identifying and organizing. Is managing not required in knowledge management? So whenever you get such questions, find the nearest answer. What is the nearest answer over here? The nearest answer is, type fast in the comment section. Everyone please type your answers in the comment section, number 1, and number 2. Please like the video and share it among your social media groups. Definitely share it, because others should also benefit, isn't it? So what is the answer over here? The answer is C. Okay. In the process of implementation and scaling up, banks have faced variety of difficulties such as. Now what do you mean by implementation and scaling up? Scaling up means, here, the transactions in any bank are not the same which were 2 years ago, and the speed at which the transactions are increasing, that has also increased rapidly. Earlier they used to, let's say, 1 lakh transactions per day in any bank. Nowadays they have grown to more than 10 crores per day. So such is the huge diaspora of the banking system now. Okay. And implementation means implementation of new softwares. So this requires a basic human capacity, means understanding capacity. So what are the problems faced then? Implementation and scaling, banks have faced a variety of difficulties such as snapping of connectivity, errors in software. Snapping of connectivity means connectivity gone. Errors in software, yes, this also happens. But why is this included in HR? Because if any problem occurs in any system, the point over here is, we are human beings. They need to handle it, right? So that's why HR is very important over here, and the human force is very important over here. Second, slowdowns, downtime, wrong entries in customer accounts, these are all the daily aspects. This generally happens in implementation. Whenever you have a new software, wrong entries do happen in that new software, because people are not used to it. The workforce is not used to it. Slowdown happens because the server times, because there is no connectivity many times because of the new system which is implemented, right? Third one, fine tune contingency, planning and operational risk. So fine tuning this contingency, planning and operational risk, you can combine this also. So what do you mean by this? Fine tuning contingency. Contingency means what? If something happens tomorrow, what is the backup plan for you? So these the difficulties which the bank faces? Okay, this is the difficulty. Contingency planning is definitely. Slowdown, it definitely faces. Connectivity problem, errors, it also faces. So what is the answer over here now? Type it fast in the comment section. Fast. Let me see how many of you are typing fast. Yes, the answer is correct, D. Because all these problems, all these obstacles are faced by the banks when they change the systems and scale up, right? The importance of training in banking sector depends upon the sense of seriousness of. Now training, this is a very tricky question. Is training important in banking sector? Firstly tell me, what do you think? Is training, type it in the comment section, yes or no. Is training important in banking sector? Yes or no? What do you think? Majority of you have typed yes, correct. Yes. Obviously yes, training is important. But on whose seriousness does it depend? Now these are the important this questions given over here. So what are the important points? Chairman and board of directors. So does it depend on the seriousness of this chairman and board of directors? Executive director, B option. Third option, general manager, HRD and training. And fourth is RBI. So on whose seriousness does the training and development in any banking system depends? Okay. All the answers seem to be correct. Firstly, everyone will think RBI. I'll tell you simple logic is, RBI is never the answer for this, because it is speaking of some banking, training in banking sector. Okay. So in any banking sector or in any banking, let's cancel this sector because we want for specific banking now. In any banking or any bank, it depends on what? RBI is always serious about training and development, always. Okay. In RBI will never say the training should be less, because RBI knows the importance of training and development and where the banks are heading on. So that's why this answer is not correct. Okay. We want a specific answer. Okay. Executive director. Who is the executive director? Remember, executive director, general manager, all these guys are paid employees. Always remember, general manager gets a salary, executive director gets a salary. So everyone, all the salaried employees will work as employees only. But who is the owner of the bank? Who is the owner? Owner of the bank is board of directors and chairman, right? Because these are shareholders, main shareholders, okay? And these represent the shareholders, right? So these are the owners of the bank. So whose seriousness is required in anything, any implementation in any banking system? What is required main? It's the chairman and the board of directors. If they agree to something, no one amongst these guys, executive director, general manager, any employee, no one has the power to oppose these guys. Okay? If it is in the benefit of the company, that's important. If it's not in the benefit of the company, then all of them will oppose it. But training and development is in the benefit of the banking sector. So depends upon whose seriousness. So the importance of training in banking depends upon the seriousness of chairman and development board of directors. Okay? Banks have diversified platforms to deliver training such as, so on what platforms are the training given nowadays? Is the training and development same as which was 20 years ago or 15 years ago? All the classroom trainings, right? Many of the banks might still be following some classroom training batches, but some of them are required definitely. But it's not the compulsion nowadays that everything should be in classroom as we had earlier. Now we have various platforms. What are these? Classrooms, but obvious. Business games, simulations, and online learning. So business games, simulation mean these are all case study type activities which are performed live. Simulations means what? You act as a banker, you act as a customer, and then you see the problems. Okay. Online learning, this is a major tool used nowadays. It's a major tool for cost cutting also in training and development department. Earlier that all the employees used to go to the training room, training department, travel, then all expenses, everything is gone now. Online training, it can be delivered anywhere, isn't it? So business games, it's a part of, it's like a simulation only. Third is on the job training, structured mentoring and coaching. So this is also important because training will be developed delivered via on the job training also. Structured mentoring means what? What do you mean by mentoring? Looking at the training process and guiding wherever is required. Okay, so what is the correct answer? A, B or C or D? So the correct answer is D, right? Type fast in your comment section. In order to add value, training needs to be okay. Means whenever we have to add value, what do you mean by adding value? Means here, if you work for your job, whether in whatever desk you might be working, how do you add value? If anybody is working in, let's say, in clearing department, I'll just give you an example. In clearing department, putting the stamps on the checks and putting them in the system is a job for which you are being paid. But how do you add the value? If you get the names and numbers of the customers from those checks and add accounts to your bank, new accounts, so that's adding value. That's going beyond your job profile. Okay, so that's adding value, and that is required nowadays in any banking system. Okay, you are not expected to work only for your salary. Okay, how much value you add to the organization, that is also important. So in training, what needs to be done? Measured, invested, mentored, disseminated. Now measured means what? Here invested means what? Amount is required. So training definitely has amount is required, but obvious. So this can't be the right answer for this. We are adding value. For basic necessity of having the training, investment is required by the bank. Okay, so this is not the answer for this adding value. Okay. Disseminated means given the training. Disseminated means distributed among the employees. So that has to be distributed. So that is the basic requirement again. Okay. But what is the correct answer now? Adding value. Measured or mentored. Measured means what? Training has to be measured, but obvious. Because it's a basic training model. When the four parts of the model are, the last part is measuring, right? Of any training model. So we have to measure this, but that's a part of the training system. But mentoring means what? Mentoring means it's a step ahead of measuring. In measuring, I am just calculating what are the errors in that. But in mentoring, I'm pointing out what are the errors and how they can be rectified for better development and better value addition. So to add value, what should be the correct answer? Training needs to be mentored correctly, okay? When can a bank employee be construed as having professional attitude? Means when do I say that you are having a professional attitude, or when do you say when that I am having a professional attitude if I am working in the bank? So when do you gather or constitute that somebody is having a professional attitude? Let's see. When punctual and respects the value of time of others. This is very important. Professionalism means what? Valuing the time of others. If you give a time for somebody for meeting and you don't follow that, in other person's eyes, you are gone. Okay? Follow the superior's instructions. That's a basic requirement of professional attitude, right? Because always remember, many of us think that superior doesn't know this, but superior has gone through your stage and he or she knows what the problems are. So follow the superior's instructions. Observant and responsible. This is also a requirement, basic requirement. Observant and responsible. You should be responsible for your job profile. Whatever errors you make, take the responsibility of that. Representative of his or her organization's goodwill. This is very important part. What do you mean by this part? Whenever you go outside the banking system, whenever you go in the society, then if you act haphazardly or give some wrong answers to somebody, even in general society, what will be the what will be in the person's mind who is listening to you? That all the employees of this bank are stupid, right? So organizational goodwill is an important part which you have to convey always, okay? So you have to always think over something whenever you speak up in the society also about means after all you are representing the bank, you are having the tagline of that bank, okay? So what is the answer for this? A, B, C or D, all of the above? What do you think? All the things seem to be correct, right? So the correct answer will be all of the above. D. Type fast in the comment section. Okay, now something for your homework. Let's see, you type this answer among of this, okay? Please type the answer. Demographic variables do not influence the bank employees' overall work related attitudes such as. So demographic variables do not influence which attitudes over here, which points or which particulars of that employee. Demographics, I'll just explain you, but you have to answer it. Age, income, length of service. Do you means what? Is the length of service in Kolkata different than the length of service in Tamil Nadu for bank employees? Is the age difference? In Kolkata they retire at 60, in Maharashtra they retire at 50, something like that. So age, income, is the salary different? Of course, depending on the metros it's different. No, that's everywhere. But does this change that because he is some South Indian, he is a Bengali, so his income will be different, he is a Maharashtrian, it's nothing like that, right? So now I'm just giving you the hints, you have to answer it. Second, language. Demographic means what? Does the language change along with the demography? Does the way of thinking, see, your way of thinking is always supported by the culture and the background through which you come. The way of thinking of someone in South India will be slightly different than the way of thinking about of somebody in North India, right? Slightly. Why? Because the cultures are different. But after all, rational thinking will be same. But there will be a way of thinking. Okay. Cultural background. It's obviously once you change, India is a plethora of this cultural backgrounds, right? But then also we all are united. Why? Because there is something common in us. Okay. Okay. Now coming back to the question, what do you think should be the answer? A, B, C or D? Type fast, and I'll give this answer later. But it's a common simple answer. I'll see to it that everyone answers this. Kindly answer this. Okay. Now before leaving, look at this. This class of starting from September 3rd of ABM, BFM and retail, we'll be covering all the objective questions, all the numericals, case studies, everything related to CAIIB, ABM, BFM and retail. Okay. Use this code Y432. Now how to use this code? I'll just show you. See this. Go to Adda 24/7. We'll go live now. Okay. Go to Adda 24/7. Okay. Yeah. Once you go to Adda 24/7, see this. Now we are live. On Adda 24/7, click on JAIIB and CAIIB. Once you click on JAIIB and CAIIB, you'll see this JAIIB CAIIB Mahapack, JAIIB CAIIB November December English batch. You can click on either of these because this code is useful everywhere. What is this Mahapack? Mahapack is the subscription. Once you get the subscription, all the batches which will come in the next year, next 12 months will be available to you. So you can go for this because the code of discount is Y432 is available here also. I'll show you about this English batch. Okay, click on this English batch. See this. Now you'll see the details of the batch. See this. Click on this batch now. Once you click on it, see the details. Same details. 3rd September starting 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. 3rd September 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. ABM batch, BFM. Then study plan is given. What all is available? 120 plus hours of live interactive classes, intensive practice. Then recorded videos are available. Then you can ask the questions up to last day. You can go read this, okay, in details. Okay. Now look at the fee, 17,999. Click on view offers. Once you click on view offers, now see the offers. Put the code Y432 and now see the magic. See this. The fees. Now the fees has reduced by 80%. 80% means it has reduced from 17,999 to 3,599. My God. 80% reduction. Grab this opportunity ASAP. Just click on continue, pay, and you are on. Okay. Grab this opportunity as fast as possible. Okay. Tomorrow I'll be back with